Godzilla, king of the monsters, alive, surging up from the depths of the sea on a tidal wave of terror to wreak vengeance on mankind.
Godzilla, king of the monsters, it's alive!
A gigantic beast,
Stalking the earth, crushing all before it,
in a cyclonic cavalcade of electrifying horror.
raging through the streets on a rampage of total destruction.
Godzilla, king of the monsters,
Incredible titan of terror.
wiping out a city of 6 million in a holocaust of flame.
Jet planes cannot destroy it.
Bombs cannot kill it.
All modern weapons fail.
Is this the end of our civilization?
Can the scientists of the world find a way to stop this creature?
For the answer, see Godzilla, king of the monsters.
You may wish to deny it, but your eyes tell you it's true.
A tale to stun the mind.
More fantastic than any ever written by Jules Verne.
More terrifying than any ever shown on the screen.
Awesome.
Incredible.
Unbelievable.
A story beyond your wildest dreams.
Dynamic violence.
Savage action.
Spectacular thrills.
Godzilla, king of the monsters.
Fantastic beyond comprehension.
Gripping beyond compare.
Astounding beyond belief.
The mightiest monster
Body
of them
room.
all.
See Godzilla.
King of the monsters.
Hello. I didn't think anyone was going to be here, so I just thought I'd play some Godzilla before I started. Hi guys, how's it going? Dakoba, thank you for the subscription. 41 months. My goodness. That's a lot. That's a lot. Thank you. No Godzilla kissing. Nope. Yes, Godzilla is with us today. Godzilla is in the stream. Yeah, so for anybody who's not aware, we watched Godzilla 1954 on the old Discord. I too am very sleepy today, so it's just gonna be a really chilled out stream. He's looking at you. He's smiley. Yeah, Godzilla's watching everyone, especially Dakota, getting cozy in bed. It was weird. But yeah, so we yeah. It was movie night. We did a vote on the Discord, which the link is just there. If you're not familiar, why wouldn't you be? Hi Bada. Hey, yes, I'm down for that. Killer Bees. Jace McSwirl said hi and bye. I don't know anybody else who's here, but hello, welcome in. We are talking about Godzilla 1954. We watched it on Wednesday night on the Discord. It was fun. The subtitles were a line ahead of the dialogue on the screen, which was really good for the non-English movie that we watched this month. I do love doing these streams. It was fun. Next month we'll probably do an English movie. It's actually going to be a Halloween movie, and we've been talking about potentially doing like spooky movies. We're going to do old school spooky. I will talk about that at the end of the stream. Obviously right now we're talking about this movie night, which was Godzilla 1954, which is the first in the Godzilla franchise, I guess. Godzilla just happens to be, if I'm not wrong, one of like the longest running movie franchises that's still active, that's going. Like, I don't know many movies that aired in. I do need to. I need to fact check this. But it was 1954 when the movie came out, and they are still making movies with Godzilla in. So I feel like that's gotta be a Guinness Book of World Record somewhere. Hey, Janini, it's movie night. Welcome in. So if you're not familiar, we do every month we pick a movie, do it through the Discord. We do a vote. We normally pick a theme. I'm trying to pick a theme, and then put a bunch of movies in a vote, and then everybody votes for which one we're gonna watch. And then we watch the movie on the Discord. I stream it. You don't have to watch it on the Discord. Obviously, you can watch it in your own time, but we do watch it on the Discord, and we all like type our own little jokes and stuff into the chat. And then we do this monthly movie night Twitch stream where we just chat about the movie and how we felt about it. And ultimately, the idea was that, you know, we want to have conversations about movies that we may not have seen or may not have chosen to watch on our own, and we just want to do a bit more. Like, it felt like the community, or if anything, me, just wanted to talk more about movies. So he's pretty long in the tooth, but he has got radiation on his side, so he's probably got like a half-life of at least a few hundred years on him, so he's probably fine. Godzilla's he's fine. He's probably gonna live forever. He is still in some movies. Is King Kong actually King Kong is 1935, I believe. So maybe King Kong and Godzilla are like holding up the current French, because what happened was I was trying to look for I'm just gonna look up King Kong now. This is the only stream where I will Google things without any kind of like shame. Yeah, King Kong was 1933. Yeah, you wouldn't believe the plastics that both guys have, like King Kong and Godzilla both had a lot of work. But yeah, they're currently like in a franchise. It's like, I think it's Universal that are doing them at the minute. So Universal brought out Godzilla in, gosh, I want to say 2014, and it was directed by Gareth Edwards. And then they did a King Kong movie in, I want to say 2017. All I know is that it had Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston and Samuel L. Jackson in it. The cast is crazy good in that movie. King Kong, Skull Island. And that had, and then they just keep cranking these like kaiju movies out now. So it's either Kong or Godzilla or a combination of the two. And they are, like I say, they're just cranking them out, yeah. I mean, isn't Godzilla's whole like thing that he's a bit wrinkly? He's got a bit. I need to find the franchise now. But yeah, so King Kong is older than Godzilla, and it's Warner Brothers that are distributing them. There you go. Generally, they are quite like well received, these movies. I know that like Dan Stevens and Millie Bobby Brown and Rebecca Hall have been in the more recent ones, and every time they make a new one of these, Warner Brothers churns out, it's Legendary Pictures. Every time they churn out a new one of this like franchise, I do watch them. I do enjoy them. And it is just giant CGI monsters fighting each other, which it's not good, but it's weirdly compelling for me. And I do have a bit of an affection for it. Michael Bay, I don't know if he did one specifically rather than, did he do an Alien versus Predator? But yeah, King Kong and Godzilla have fought each other in like several of these movies. Was Michael Bay the 98? I would want to double check that because I don't know if it was it Michael Bay who did 98 Godzilla. It's like, why do I feel like it was Roland Emmerich? Am I wrong? Am I like thinking of Day After Tomorrow? This is where I'm going. This is me just judiciously googling everything. TriStar Pictures did a Godzilla in 98. I don't know if Michael Bay did a Godzilla. Yeah, it was Roland Emmerich. I am pub quiz ready, man. I'm Googling. Oh my god. To be fair, there's one I will say. I've never watched the 98 Godzilla. The 98 one, I believe, was like, was it a flop? No, it wasn't. It was very well received. It was a box office disappointment despite being the third highest grossing film of 1998. So for anybody who says that the movie industry is so scamming at this point because they don't make enough money to actually turn a profit, apparently, according to this, they had a production budget of 130 to 150 million, marketing costs of 80 million, so we're just tipping over 200 mil mark, and apparently had a box office gross of 379 million, so it made over its budget, but didn't make enough to turn a profit. Was it a big girl? I think it did have eggs or something involved in it, yeah. There was a, that's like just vaguely, but again, I don't actually know because I never watched the 98 version, but I did watch the cartoon spin-off on Nickelodeon. So yeah. So there you go. We're going off on tangents already. Tangents everywhere. I got the Roland Emmerich right and then verified it, you know? Oh yeah, Fox Kids. There you go. It wasn't Nickelodeon, it was Fox Kids. There was a cartoon show. So that's how I know vague, like, broad strokes about the Godzilla movie, because obviously there was an animated series in the 90s. So if you're not picking up on it, Godzilla has been around for a while and Godzilla ain't going anywhere. Godzilla is a staple in pop culture. It's Japanese's biggest export, apart from Pokemon. And yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, everyone knows Godzilla. Even my tiny children. But yeah, everybody knows Godzilla. And, you know, because he's huge. Catra, welcome. We're talking Godzilla. I'm being very, like, I'm going off on random tangents already, so it's good. It's a good start. So yeah, the cartoon was faithful to the anti-nuclear proliferation, I'm sure. Yeah, of course. Um, I can't remember shit about the cartoon, just the kind of visuals, but I do remember that Godzilla was very fond of the main child character, which was a bear, or the main person, like the main dude. Whereas like Godzilla, as far as I'm aware, shouldn't have any allegiance to no one. Godzilla is more like loyal to only itself. But yeah. Yeah, it's one of those. Is it like, I don't know, are we saying Mandela effect? Is that something like you kind of just know it through osmosis, but you don't actually know it? Like, again, I guess we're talking about the original movie now in 1954. The original Japanese movie made it abundantly clear that Godzilla was the Japanese people kind of reckoning with nuclear warfare and directly blaming the nuclear warfare for awakening Godzilla and bringing this terror into the world and causing lots of destruction and tearing up the cities and eating on trains and stuff. But yeah, well, yeah, I mean a lot like Marvel and all of the above will tell you that most of their movie and entertainment industry arms are beholden to the toy selling aspect um of the industry. Not the one with Ferris Bueller. Yes, we're talking about the 1954 black and white Japanese movie. Thank you, I watched it today. No, we're just talking about Godzilla. If you have any kind of like general opinions, Tinny, about giant dinosaurs, please feel free. We're not talking about the 1998 movie with Matthew Broderick that was directed by Roland Emmerich. We are talking about the 1954 movie, but obviously we're talking about Godzilla just as an impact on society. Everyone knows God. Well, we're just saying, I don't think the Mandela effect is what I meant at all, but we are just saying that they are collectible models, not toys. Yes, all children, all media related models are not for playing with, obviously. Don't be fighting over the eggs. I feel like that's the 1998 Godzilla movie plot. There's something to do with eggs in it. I feel like there was eggs. That's all I really know. So for anybody who's not familiar, obviously we should probably just straight up start with what was the movie about, and we'll kind of just talk about the movie and kind of discuss what we watched. For anybody who's not familiar, I can put the trailer back on if you want. No, I can't. I closed that window. And again, the Discord links just come up. So if anybody's not in the Discord and you would like to have a say in what movie we're gonna watch next month, then please join. So that you can be a part of that. Not Easter eggs. It's getting on to Halloween, everybody's favorite time of year. Janini's here, guys. So in the original 1954 Godzilla, the plot of the movie basically is that there's like an island and all the fish die or something. There's a boat that gets destroyed and some reporters and scientists go to the island to investigate what's going on with the fishing boats, and there is a storm and Godzilla is awake, and Godzilla basically wrecks some houses and leaves everything for dead. And then they see all these like footprints in the sand. It looks really cool. I'm sorry, it does. I can't stop. So they go to Tokyo and they try to say, and they also like the elders of the village on the island are like, We know it's Godzilla. We normally offer him cows to keep him happy. And then sometimes, if there's no cows, we offer him little girls on a boat. And there's not enough cows to appease Godzilla. So, they go to Tokyo, and they send some scientists and paleontologists over, and basically they come to the conclusion that Godzilla has been awoken by the nuclear bomb, the hydrogen bomb, and more boats start going missing. And then we kind of get introduced to our main scientist, who has a daughter, and his daughter is called Emiko, and then Emiko wants to get engaged to Ogata. I care about this love triangle more than anyone. Emiko is the professor's daughter, and Emiko wants to get engaged to Ogata. And Ogata is a Weasley little loser. And she has an ex-lover called Serizawa. And Serizawa is really, really cool. You'll know him. He's got an eye patch. And everybody in chat was like, big boss. And he is a war veteran who is now a scientist. And she goes to Serizawa to tell him that she's got a new boyfriend and she's going to get married. And she doesn't, because he tells her some science stuff and scares her, and she runs away screaming, because that's what all women love to do. It's not the eye patch, I swear. Anyway, she shows him something with his fishies. Godzilla starts ramping up the attacks. There's like the momentum of the movie is Godzilla just keeps getting more angry and keeps attacking and then starts attacking Tokyo. There are tanks. There's attacks. He eats train. He just smashes up the place. At one point, he's breathing he looks like fire extinguisher, but it's fire. And he melts everything down. People are running. There's a really good shot of the whole street where there's like everything's on fire in the background, and you can just see the shadow of Godzilla, and then you can see all the people running in the foreground. It's really cool. Honestly, with the practical effects and the black and white and just the way that they integrate the models and the Godzilla and the live action is really fucking good. If you haven't seen it, please watch the original Godzilla. You can find it online. Yeah, some of it just looks incredible. And it really does give you that sense of scale. I mean, because I've just been saying, I've been watching like the Monsterverse that Warner Brothers is churning out at the minute. They're just smashing up cities, and the human impact is completely like irrelevant to whatever is going on. But there's a couple of moments where there's a woman holding her children, and she's like, okay, we're gonna go be with the rest of our family now. They're gonna die. There's a real human impact on these people, on this city getting destroyed, and you can see it and you can feel it. It feels tangible. It's really good. Watch the movie. And then I'm gonna spoil the rest of the movie now. A lot doesn't, but it's 1954. Anyway, Serizawa is working on a terrible thing that he's created. He's basically created a bomb that removes all the oxygen from the atmosphere and destroys anything within a radius of the bomb. Basically, it causes everything to asphyxiate. And he calls it the O bomb, or it's an oxygen bomb, basically. And it just basically makes everything turn into a skeleton. He showed Emiko, and she got upset because the fish turned into skeletons. Right, just go with it. So Serizawa is really upset because he realizes that he's created something worse than the hydrogen bomb, and the only way to kill Godzilla is with something worse than the hydrogen bomb. And skeletons are spooky and Halloweeny, and I know that Tinny was talking about a Halloween costume with this. She's got a cool skeleton wearing a top hat with eyes that glow for Halloween. So yeah, that's linking back to Halloween. Tinny, I really loved it. I'm sorry I didn't say anything before. I get caught in things. Get caught in a spin. Anyway, the end of the movie is basically there's the love triangle. Emiko wants to marry Ogata, but Serizawa has to go with him down into the ocean to plant the bomb to kill Godzilla. And when he gets down there, and before he does that, he says, I don't want anybody else to make this bomb. I don't want to be responsible for creating this terrible thing. And he's got a lot of guilt, and he's like, I don't want anybody else to use this power. So he burns all of his notes, and he knows that he's the only person with the knowledge to create this terrible bomb. So he goes down into the ocean, and the end of the movie is him putting his oxygen off and getting blown up with Godzilla, because he doesn't want to live if he has that knowledge, and he doesn't want it to be shared. So he makes that sacrifice, and then everyone cries. And apparently, according to the Wikipedia article, I didn't catch this, but I think the old man at the end of the movie says that if they keep testing nuclear weapons, Godzilla could rise again, basically. I love the love triangle. I think it's got everything. It's got a tropical island. It's got a Godzilla. It's got the army. It's got a courtroom scene where everyone's shouting at each other. It's really good. Godzilla gets disintegrated into ashes, or into nothingness at the end of the movie. But again, obviously they did a sequel hook where they said he could come back if we keep fucking around with nuclear weapons. I mean, and then Godzilla continues to be a mainstay in entertainment to this very day. So we never learnt our lesson, did we? Yeah, it was basically don't dick about with nukes. I think the movie's great. I maintain that the love triangle is an essential part of the story. I just feel like it wasn't fully felt because of the subtitle situation. But yeah, there is. So Godzilla. We've just been saying. Obviously, Godzilla has been. So him and King Kong, between them, have been around a lot longer than most franchises in the world. So they definitely I think I just like that they put that in there. I think my whole obsession with the love triangle is that they had human drama as well as Godzilla wrecking the place. And I do think that even now, when you watch the latest movies, they don't get that balance right. That the cost of what's happening, the way to defeat Godzilla is with sacrifice at the end. And obviously he loves Emiko, so him dying is him. It's dramatic, and Emiko is upset, and everything kind of links together. There's a weight, there's a humanity. It doesn't, Godzilla's there, but Godzilla is just a force that can't be comprehended or controlled. They just have to work with what they've got, and the human reaction and everybody screaming at each other in the courtroom, and the professors all getting mad at each other, and Emiko's and Agatha and Serizawa's whole love triangle. It's there's real human cost and conflict, and it's great. But yeah, and then they just started making a whole load of series where Godzilla and King Kong fight each other, and then we had the whole kaiju series. So we had I know there's Mecha Godzilla. There's Mothra. Mothra is one that I actually do want to watch. Every time I get close to finding a copy of Mothra, it disappears. It's like a moth trying to catch a moth. But yeah, I like the idea of Mothra. There's a 1960 something movie which is Mothra, but there's the big dragon one. They all turn up in the MonsterVerse movies that are kind of getting churned out at the minute. So yeah. Yeah, Emiko was for a movie in 1954, for a woman to have enough importance to be integral to the story, wherein all of the male characters trusted her and she got to make choices that impacted the story. So it's not like she was passive. She was an active part of the story because to she chooses to portray Sarazawa. She doesn't just sit on her hands. She's got agency. She's not like getting shuttled between them. She's the active participant in the triangle. She's the one that reveals the secret. She's the one that forces. Well, Ogata goes and beats him up, but you know, she should have. Godzilla just needed a cuddle, I guess. But I think, you know, as far as female characters go in movies that are predominantly male and Godzilla, I think as a female character, I think Emiko is probably, she's important and she has her own, she makes choices that impact the story. So I don't mind her being in a love triangle and being in that position because she actually has an impact on how the story plays out. She's not passive. She's there. She's essential. So I love her. I love it all. But yeah, it's a great story. I think it's got impact. It has a lot of twists and turns. Like I say, Emiko has to betray Sarazawa. And the guy, I don't think this is like, we need to talk about the fact that Sarazawa is a scientist with a freaking eye patch who looks badass. He is cool, man. Why would you go with the other one? But yeah. Yeah, and she's flawed. They're all flawed, I think. They're all like, they're not ideals. They're more people just trying to figure out what to do. I think that there's a fragility and a humanity to the characters that kind of reflects on the fact that Godzilla is this big unstoppable force, and I think fear and overwhelming sense of dread and all that like can impact on the decisions, and they don't move like automatons. They do move like real, it feels like real characters. So yeah, anyway, so thanks to Godzilla and probably a bit of King Kong, we now have kaiju cinema, which is in and of itself a whole thing where a giant monster bashes the shit out of a city, and then they kind of fight each other, and Japan is more or less responsible for bringing that to the world. So yeah, I don't know really what else to add to that, but there's, I believe what happened was, there was an American local like version of the movie, because I was trying to find, what happened was I kept getting the 2014 version when I was trying to find the Godzilla movie, but there was an American cut of the original Japanese movie where they dubbed it, but they also like I can't think of what they did. They did cut a load of shit out basically. So it's like a couple of years later. So they dubbed the movie and they also added a couple of bits to make it seem more Americanized. And yeah, there was a bunch of stuff. It was weird. They like basically just more or less recut the movie for American audiences in the 50s. And I feel like it was an influential bit of cinema for Spielberg or something. I remember this. This is something that I remember from university, but again, I'm gonna have to double bloody check it. All these things are just coming to me. Obviously, I'm just trying to remember, but what did they cut? Yeah, so it's an American reporter goes to Tokyo and finds Godzilla, and the whole love triangle is maintained, I believe. But like the American reporter is involved. And apparently the reporter is called Steve Martin. Okay. And they just shot a load of footage that they cut into the movie very quickly. Weird. I assume they took out all like the anti-nuclear shit. But yeah, it's a reporter that's like reporting on what's happening. It just says that they recut it and removed some of the themes and stuff. So I assume that they cut out the stuff that was like anti-nuclear war. But yeah, apparently they cut it so that there was body doubles in the room, so it looked like he was actually involved in all the stuff that was going on, which is quite funny. But yeah. I don't know. They just call it the Oxygen Destroyer, so I think that's the plot. Yeah. But I do think that yeah, there is an overwhelming sense of dread in the movie, and I think yeah, that's the point. Godzilla is an unstoppable force and looms very much over the movie, and they do. Like, there's a purpose. It's definitely a movie wherein Godzilla is there and Godzilla is having. You really just feel like that it's helpless and that there's nothing that can be done. And then obviously to defeat Godzilla, they have to come up with something worse than the nuclear bomb, basically. And yeah, it's with sacrifice. It's with betrayal, it's with ingenuity and teamwork that they beat Godzilla, and they have to do it with that sacrifice and with that knowledge and with that weight of knowing that they could create something worse. It's all very heavy shit. And then the movie's obviously evolved into, I don't even know what the next one in the series was actually, now I'm saying that. It's like I say, I know they did a recut version, but they did do a sequel. And the sequel, I know the original director didn't come with the sequel. But in 1955, they immediately cranked another one out. It's kind of like a Letterboxd. Yeah, we're just talking about movies. Today we're talking about Godzilla. You're right, Cappy. So it's not Aliens, it's Godzilla Raids Again, 1955. And as I've said, the original director was busy, so they brought another guy in. And apparently it was a re-edited English version was released in the United States, and that was under the title of Gigantis the Fire Monster. Godzilla fights another monster. The general gist seems to be that Japan struggles to survive the second attack of Godzilla, as well as its destructive battle against its ancient foe, Anguirus. I don't know what the fuck it is. Somehow Godzilla's returned, and he's got a giant lizard to fight. Now, he was actually directing a movie called Love Tide, which was a film set in post-war Tokyo where two of its citizens are lovers who reunite after being separated by the war. So Ishihiro Honda chose to do a romance film instead of a Godzilla sequel. Choices were made. The movie looks great. So he was like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. And then, so that was like what year was that? Yeah. It was also called Godzilla's Counterattack. So 1954, they made the first one. Then 1955, they brought out the sequel. Do you want to know in 1962 what the next movie in the franchise was? It was King Kong vs. Godzilla. And that is in 1962. So Godzilla and King Kong have been fighting for like 60 years now? Guys. Hey. It's not a stream with me if we don't mention David Carradine and Kill Bill. By the way, September is happening. If I reach 75 subs, I'll watch both Kill Bill movies and have opinions on them. I say 75 subs because I don't want to. And nobody's forced my hand yet, so. But we will keep making jokes about David Carradine. The September goals are as listed. I will find some time to do the first goal incentive, which is the Final Fantasy IX PSX CSR. The second, if we get to 50, I will try and learn Final Fantasy VIII CSR, which I don't know when I'm going to find time to do that. And then 75 subs is the Kill Bill party. And then 100 subs, I will try and get a PS2 and try and get world record. By the way, for anybody who's not familiar, our good friend McSwirlsy Worlsy just went and got an 1139 today on the PS2, which puts him third on the leaderboard for Tetris with Cardcaptor Sakura, which has got nothing to do with movies or what we're talking about, but he's smashing it. Yeah, I don't know. I never have time to do anything. Like, who has time to speedrun or learn speedruns? I'm still trying to learn the 10 speedrun. If you're lost and you know, and you will find me time after time. Well, The Land Before Time, that also has dinosaurs. I haven't actually finished a 10 run. Do you want to know what happened on my previous Final Fantasy X speedrun? I got all the way to the end, and I was like maybe like seconds ahead of my PB. It wasn't very good, but we managed to muddle our way through, and Run should have died a few times, but I managed to figure it out. And then we got to like the final bit where you're throwing the money at the Aeons, and I'm just sat there and I just said, I don't think I have any Phoenix Downs. And then everybody in chat was like, you definitely have Phoenix Downs. It'll be fine. I did not have a Phoenix Down to throw, which was literally the last input of the speedrun. And that was funny. We didn't finish, so. It's not that I'm not trying. I'm just, things keep happening, man. Anyway, that's what's going on the stream at the minute. Obviously, we have the movie night stream at the moment, and we're working through Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster. I may have been watching Cappy. Go follow him if you want to see somebody speedrun Final Fantasy 1. And I was watching him today, and I was like, that's what I was doing wrong on the water temple. No, I did not finish the run. We did not have a Phoenix Down. The elixir only does 9999 damage. We didn't actually have an elixir. We had an X potion. We couldn't kill it. It was disgusting. So yeah, we're doing Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster. If you want to see a speedrun of that, Cappy is very good at it. And very pleasant, just a chill stream. So follow him if you're not. And we're doing the casual. I don't know what I'm going to do next casual. We're also speedrunning Final Fantasy X, and we're also doing this movie stream. So we got lots going on the channel. I'm quite happy. I like to keep things a bit like on a nice even keel. Just keep things moving along. But right now we're talking about Godzilla. Godzilla. I genuinely, as I've said, think the movie's great. I think the franchise is hilarious. And every time Warner Brothers brings out another one of these stupid movies, I will sit and watch the kaijus fighting each other. They're not all good. They're actually bad. But there's some weird, like, fascination that I myself find intriguing. What do I feel about map pictures of footprints? I don't really know. What question? What are you asking me? I don't know. Are you asking me if I'm a foot person? I don't know. Gorilla versus Elon Musk, who takes it? Oh, that is a hot take. Well, Godzilla would just stand on the small little man who has no spine. So, I think Godzilla would win. Oh, right, yeah. I like the footprints as he was walking away. I liked it. I liked all of the, like, I like how they, like, incorporated, like, gradually built up Godzilla, like, obviously the fishing boats go missing, and then there's the attack on the island, and then there's, like, the gradual, but, like, escalating Godzilla attacks through the movie. You're most welcome, Real Guts. I mean, he could use them as roller skates, but they'd probably they'd get smushed. Yeah, I mean the island bit's really good. There's a bit where like they're all dancing and trying to appease the they're trying to appease the god of Godzilla. The King Kong movies do something similar. I think like I said, I haven't actually watched the Mothra movie, but I know that they also do something very similar wherein the kaiju or whatever, the big force, the King Kong or your Godzilla or your Mothra or your kaiju or whatever, they like there's always like some small island folks who have their own kind of ways of like managing the big fella. Yeah, you wouldn't catch me driving one of them Tesla trucks now. Gojira. What is Jira? The platform, sorry. One of them. I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of Tesla cars around here, and I do question why people would. Jira software. Sorry, I'm looking at what Dakota's telling me. I know nothing about software. I'm not a software person. It is bug tracking, issue tracking, and agile project management. If you use that in your day-to-day job, the name is actually named after Godzilla. Well done. That is funny. It's like a ticketing system. There you go. There you go. Named after Godzilla. It's hell in software form. Wow. Godzilla is hell in dinosaur form, destroying cities. I am shocked by the amount of Teslas on the road. Yeah, I am too. I actually got an Uber. We got an Uber taxi. It was a Tesla. It's the first time I've ever been in a Tesla. I've only ever been in a Tesla once. um, it was spooky. I was very drunk though, so yeah, that was it. My husband walks up to the car and he was looking at it going, how do I open it? He was really freaking out. He really freaked out. He was like, I don't know how to get in this thing. Ah. Yeah, it's creepy, right? It's like you're in, yeah. Ooh, it doesn't feel right. I don't know. Maybe I was just really drunk, but I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't my, it was a bit weird. I know that there's like when my parents went on holiday, they were talking about how they were like, I can't remember if it was Belgium or somewhere like that, but like you could ask for an Uber and they got an Uber specifically with a Tesla. No, that was it. You could like ask for a Tesla specifically and like pay more for the experience of getting driven around in a Tesla. Like that was a treat that you could pay extra for. And I just remember thinking that's weird. Yeah. Like they're not that. They're maybe I just don't. Yeah. I feel, and I also feel on the roads, like when I'm driving, I do, and I'm gonna say this because this is totally relevant to what we're talking about. But I feel like Tesla drivers are now like Audi drivers. They're just not. Some of them are fine. It's not every Tesla driver, but I don't know. Tesla drivers seem to be speed demons for no fucking reason, and it's like, where are you going? That's so important. So yeah, I've said it. I've put that out into the universe. What's the ULEZ? I don't know enough about London. What is that? Everyone's using terms that I need to Google today because I'm on a Google binge today. What's the ULEZ? The ultra low emission zone. Ah, right, okay. Makes sense. They do, and like when they're overtaking you, it's like, okay, calm down. So there's an ultra low emission zone in London where they stop you from. They're trying to combat congestion. I don't know. I think signal, like, using your indicators, it's like, I get the feeling most people think it's optional, and I feel like there should be a rule. I'm one of these drivers now. I feel like there should be a rule. Like, if you're turning your fucking wheel and going in a direction, you should put your fucking indicators on. It shouldn't be optional. Tell me what you're doing so I don't crash. I'm scared. Ugh. What's the memo? Yeah, people don't use indicators. I thought indicators were common courtesy. I thought it was a good way to let people know what you're thinking through the car. I don't know. Yeah, we're all like mind readers now. Anyway, thanks Godzilla for bringing me to this point. Nuclear energy is bad and Teslas and driving is shit. Some people, yeah. I mean, this is it. I would have said Audi drivers, but I guess Beamer drivers are also on the same kind of like wavelength. I think we're both. I think we're referring to the same kind of people. we know. Hey, Godzilla didn't mean to stomp all over the cities, but if he did, he'd stomp on all the Teslas. And the Mercs and the Jaguars. People, yeah. Dudes with expensive cars. But then it's all the women in the Land Rovers and the Range Rovers that also piss me off. So, people in cars. Keep go on for hours, man. Oh no! Okay, not all Audi drivers are bad. I take it back. I'm not saying they're all bad. I'm just saying sometimes. I don't know, my granddad's a Beamer driver. Well, I say that, he's not driving anymore, but like, you get the idea. The Lambos. Basically just the dudes that spend all that money on the cars and then feel like, because they have that acceleration, they have to use it to make themselves feel alive inside. Because, when you're driving a giant toy that you spent all of your money on or hired out for whatever reason, like, yeah. You gotta go fast. I mean, I'm a speedrunner, and when I'm driving and Google Maps has the little time at the bottom saying how long it's going to take to get somewhere, you know I'm looking at it going, I could save a few minutes on that. How do I save a few minutes on that? I'm going to go faster. I know that the motivation is there. Yeah, it's just, yeah, common courtesy. Like, I don't mind people overtaking me. It's when I don't know what they're doing. Or they come up right behind you and they're like, move, move, move. I'm like, stop riding me, man. If you want to kiss my butt, you better take me out for dinner first. Oh my god. Why? The speedrun Tesco. I mean, yeah, don't we all? Yeah, you want to speedrun the supermarket. You gotta get optimum splits on getting out, in and out of the supermarket. He let you drive his Jag and he got so pissed because you were driving the speed limit. It's just not fun if you follow the rules, is it? There was like a YouTube video we were watching. Sorry, for anybody who's not familiar with the stream, we are speedrunners. Me and Janini. I started streaming as a speedrunner. I have speedrunning in my brain. In my life. Yeah, there's gotta be, there's optimal routes, I can't remember. There's an optimal route around the supermarket. You get in, you get out. You do aisles 4 and 5 skip because you don't need anything from those aisles. Yeah. Yes, Dakoba is also a speedrunner. Sorry, and Cappy. We're all speedrunners at heart. We all do it. It's fun. Yeah, Janini doesn't have time. She's just been saying she's been studying and it's been a lot for her recently. She did say that. Yeah, I prefer to do, like, the one thing that I used to do a lot when my kids were younger was go to, like, soft plays and stuff first thing in the morning. Because the last place you want to be is a soft play at 11 o'clock in the morning, because that's when everybody starts coming in and it gets really busy and there's too many people and there's too many of other people's kids. So I'm not saying that I don't want my kids to play with other people's kids, but I am saying that a lot of the kids are assholes, so I will take them earlier in the morning. If I'm taking them to soft play, they're going in the morning. Because I don't want to. There's nothing worse than a soft play full of more than 100 kids. You do have Sonic Heroes. There we go. Speedrunners. All of us. Well, Janini, it would be a pleasure to see you back on the Twitch. If you're not following Janini, you should be following Janini. I'm going to shout out Janini. Follow Janini. She does stream. And will. Her main run is Final Fantasy... I don't know, you used to do 8, 10 2. You've been learning the 7. In honor of your Audi and going fast. Old people go to the supermarkets when it's early. I think there was also a time where we used to do supermarket like when it was later, just to avoid old people. You don't have a main run anymore. I don't feel like, I mean, obviously 9's just a run that I'll always go back to, but I have enjoyed trying out new things. This is just a chatting stream now. I'm sorry about Godzilla. It's just chilling and chatting. I have threatened to go back to 10.2. Because obviously I've got like PC now, so maybe I could do like a 10.2 PC any percent just for shits and gigs. Just to get a time on that board, because I've only got HD console on 10.2. Maybe I'll do any percent. Maybe I'll do some booty shaking with brother at some point. Because it is a fun little run. But yeah. Yeah, there's like a few. There's obviously always going to be a few odds and ends that I'd love to keep doing. Like, obviously, we're going to work our way casually through the Pixel remasters. We've got like what have we got? We've got Persona 3 maybe at some point. We've got obviously 9 runs whenever I feel like it. If I get a PS2, there'll be the Tetris runs. Yeah, we got lots to do. McD's Monopoly's on. And you want an extra value meal. Nice. You always thought Godzilla was kind of mid. Janini, 13-2 is actually a really fun run. I'm just saying. I did say I'd learn the 13 run as well. Mothra is a true Chad. This is what I'm saying though, Cappy. I need to watch Mothra. Mothra is like, I keep threatening to buy the DVD of it, and then every time I think I've got a copy of it, something goes wrong, man. So, like, maybe this will motivate me to watch Mothra. So every time Mothra turns up in the MonsterVerse movies, I freaking love Mothra. To be fair, you never see the Chocobo outright. Like, you don't see it. If that helps. I don't think it does. The other one was, what was it? There was a Godzilla movie that came out. Godzilla -1. That's on Netflix. That was like the best movie of 2023 apparently. I know that's on Netflix. I should check into my bed. You wouldn't know it was under my bed. Look, man, you have to feed the Chi-Chu so the Chi-Chu survives. And 13-2 is a fun run, I swear. It is worth it. There's so many Godzilla movies. There's a Godzilla vs. Mothra movie. Actually, there's more than one of those, I think. I'm just going to read out the Godzilla movies now, just so that we've got an idea. So, yeah, it's Godzilla. Godzilla raids again. King Kong vs. Godzilla. Mothra vs. Godzilla. Ghidorah, the 3-headed monster. That's the dragon one. Waka's not in 13-2. Invasion of Astro Monster. No idea what that is. Ibira, Horror of the Deep. Son of Godzilla. What? Destroy all monsters. That sounds like a video game. All monsters attack. These are all translated. Godzilla vs. Hedorah. Godzilla vs. Gigan. Godzilla vs. Megalon. Godzilla vs. wait for it. Mechagodzilla. Godzilla Terror of Mechagodzilla. And then that finished in 1975. And then there's a new era. The Return of Godzilla. Godzilla vs. Biolante. Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. Godzilla vs. Mothra. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. Oh, right, because previously the movie was called Mothra vs. Godzilla, and then they did a Godzilla vs. Mothra, just to make things interesting. Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. Godzilla vs. Dystoroia. Godzilla vs. Tax Evasion. Speaking of tax evaders, Elon Musk. Godzilla 2000 came out in 1999. Godzilla vs. Megaguirus came out in 2000. Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, giant monsters all out attack. Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. Mechagodzilla makes a lot of appearances. Tokyo SOS and Final Wars. And then the new era is Shin Godzilla, which is apparently really good. Planet of the Monsters, which I don't know anything about. City on the Edge of Battle. The Planet Eater, and then Godzilla -1, which is apparently very good. You've seen most of them. I would love to watch. Like, I feel like this is the series that I would maybe need to spend some time working through. Godzilla vs. Sephiroth. I mean, do you think the remake and rebirth took some, like, the fact that Sephiroth keeps coming back is Sephiroth channeling Godzilla? Godzilla versus Scurvy. I don't think I said that. Although, if that is how they defeat Godzilla in a movie, don't give him any lemons for a bit. Is Scurvy the one where you don't have citrus fruit? He's taught like a farmer day every day for Janini. She comes from the West Country. Right? That's right. Mm-hmm. Godzilla versus Godzilla is just about him facing his emotional issues. I feel like Godzilla needs to have a sit down and think, why am I fighting so many Mecha Godzillas? Why did me and Space Godzilla not get along? West Country. I can't say it. Can't say it. Country. Can't say it. Help. So yeah, after listing off all the Godzilla names, I'm out of breath more than anything. But yeah, for realsies. And then you've got the Monsterverse, which Legendary Pictures are doing through Warner Brothers, I believe. And that was just Godzilla, and then Godzilla King of Monsters. What did it fight? What did he fight in King of Monsters? I think he fought everything. Yeah. I think it's Ghidorah that it fights. And Mothra's in it as well. And Rodan. Wow, okay, so there's like 3 monsters in there. And then Godzilla vs. King Kong, Godzilla times Kong, The New Empire, which came out last year, and it had like a baby King Kong, and then at one point Godzilla swings the baby King Kong around and uses him like a club to... No, that's King Kong. King Kong swings it... Anyway, their baby monkey was very annoying and deserved to get swung around like a... like a nunchuck. It was very funny. Final Fantasy VII weapons are clearly Godzilla inspired, but 7 Shinra does in fact kill them by sciencing weaponizing planet. That is interesting because obviously, if you think about it, the weapons in Final Fantasy VII are kaijus that the Earth has created and have been released because of the whatever happened at the meteor site. It's just a flesh wound. I'm gonna say this, I don't know how many of you have played Rebirth, I don't think it's a spoiler, but I don't like the redesign of the weapons. Or at least I don't like what I saw of the weapons in Rebirth. I think they look shit. I've got that out of my system. I feel better. Okay. Thank you for hanging with us, Dakota. I really do appreciate it. Bye. We should watch more Godzilla movies. I think that's the only thing I'm learning from this. I want to know how many times Godzilla fights Mecha Godzilla or Space Godzilla. I want to know, and I want to see it with my own eyes. Sapphire and Diamond, are they on the same series? I was at Ruby Girl. It was Ruby Weapon. So yeah, there was a point where I worked through all of the Rocky movies, and there's also a point where I worked through all of the Resident Evil movies. So, but they were like 7 or 8 movies long each. So there were no more than 7. Godzilla feels like a bigger undertaking. I'm just gonna count how many there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. There are 33 Japanese Godzilla movies in the series. So that would take me like, if I watched one a month, that would take me like nearly 3 years to watch all of them. If I told myself watch one a month. That's quite an undertaking. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Pokey shit. Claire Obscure is a reference. Maybe the Gomage is a reference. Has Janini played Claire Obscure yet? Expedition 33. That's a good game, man. If you haven't played it, I loved it so much I learned the speedrun for it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, I figured. Maybe we could do our own like expedition. We could do like a flag. Oh man, I'm getting ideas. Do they count down from the other way? Anyway. It's mad that it is 33. Like the American ones, I've watched all of the American ones apart from the 98 one, so I'm like on top of that shit. Air obscure, anyway, speaking of movies that we're gonna watch, I guess I will ask, what are our thoughts on October Spooky Month? Because I did have a list, and I do genuinely want everybody's input on spooky months. So I've got a list. I've got a little list. We've got Halloween, Rosemary's Baby, Night of the Living Dead original, The Shining, The Exorcist, and Event Horizon. So that's 6. So we can obviously vote on those. That's going to be the Halloween October movie month. As always, I will put a vote on the old Discord just so that anyone can. Okay, I don't know who suggested Event Horizon. I put it in there because somebody was talking about it. I figured it was like fair game. Is it not? Is it not spooky? I'll include it in the list, and then if you guys don't think it's worth watching, it won't get any votes. It's fine. Just vote for something else. It's a failed Doctor Who episode. That is quite damning, though. I'm trying to think. And then for November, I want to do Wim Wenders November, which is going to be so niche, and I don't expect anyone but me to be excited about it, but that's going to be me throwing my weight and saying we're going to watch a Wim Wenders movie. And then December we'll do like Christmas stuff. You know how popular Chris Tucker was? I mean, the thing that confused me about Chris Tucker was that people mostly liked Chris Tucker's performance in. Right. I'm not going to look up anything about Event Horizon because I don't want any spoilers. But I do. Yeah, no, I'm not going to look anything up. I'm going to leave it. If you all vote for Event Horizon, I'll watch it. But is it a horror movie, I guess, would be my next question. It is a horror movie, then it's on the list. It's a sci-fi horror. So like what? Like Alien? I like Alien. I'm not putting that on the list. I already watched Alien. Different to Alien from the on. Wait. Okay, no spoilies. It's not that bad. Okay. Somebody suggested it. I'm not bothered. We'll watch whatever everybody else like. I will guide the theme and the conversation, but I do want it to be like a team effort. Okay, well, you know what? You've got the power of the vote. I don't mind people lobbying for their favourite. So, like I say, my personal favourite in the list is Rosemary's Baby. Because it's Rosemary's Baby and it's really good. I have issues with Roman Polanski, but I think Rosemary's Baby is a banger movie. So yeah, I would love to watch that. But if another movie is picked, then that's fine too. But I do have the DVD for Rosemary's Baby, and I have a disc drive now, so it won't be as annoying if I need to put it on my laptop. So it's all coming together. I'm making plans. I'm following through. Yeah. I do think that Godzilla is a movie that is worth watching. I think if you haven't seen it, definitely seek it out. It's Godzilla 1954. It's got everything. It's got a giant guy in a rubber suit smashing shit up. It's got a love triangle. It's got, an anti-nuke message. It's great. It's a great movie. It's a part of history. It's really just a banger movie. I do genuinely believe that. I love Lawrence Fishburne and his voice, so I don't mind watching a movie with him in it. But yeah, I like the idea of watching lots of different movies. Night, Jays. I think I probably will just wind it down here, guys. I know it's a short one, but I too am very sleepy. So I'm running out of things to say about how much I like Godzilla. But I hope that you've had a nice time just sat with me. I know it's not, these streams are a bit different. And it is just me rambling and apparently ranting about Teslas. But yeah. Apocalypse Now, not really a horror movie, is it? Although, we could talk about it. We'll figure out a way to get that on the list. But yeah, I do enjoy doing these little movie chats and stuff. The Discord link has just popped up, so if you're not in the Discord and you want to have an influence over what we're going to watch next month, we will do a vote in the movie night channel on the Discord. So join the Discord if you're interested in having an influence over what we talk about next month. And I will also help with dates. 3 or 4 out of 5 for Godzilla. Glad you watched it. No desire to see it again. I think that's fair. I think, especially if you've seen it, it's worth seeing. If you have no inclination to watch it again, I wouldn't say that's necessarily a bad feeling. But would it make you watch the rest of the Godzillas? Shut up, you stupid cow, or I'll feed you to Godzilla. Yeah, feeding cows to Godzilla is a great place to start with Godzilla. Like, feeding him cows and shit. That's always fun. Origins are important. And I think as far as like origin stories go and first movies go, I think it holds up. Obviously it's made in 1954, so you do have to give them a bit of leeway on the effects and stuff, but I do think that there was a lot of thought and care put into the original movie. And there's a lot of passion in there, and it's a really good. I think it's a great movie. I think it's really well made, and I think it does have a lot of. It's trying to say something about humanity and about where they were at. Obviously, the series does descend into Godzilla punching various beasties, of which I have no doubt, but it is like just even having this conversation is making me want to go back and talk. Like, I want to be compelled to watch more of them. So it's good. It's a good place to start. Yeah, there's something in there. There's something that's captured the imagination of filmmakers. And I know that like Spielberg and people like Peter Jackson and stuff like that, they all will have seen these movies and felt the kind of impact, and it does look like, it's like a proper movie, man. It's one of those ones where it's like it's an experience, it's worth seeing, and there is something kind of magical about it. And yes, Pacific Rim is a product of the kaiju genre. Guillermo del Toro. Yeah, she's mad crazy about Pacific Rim. She really loves that movie. And again, I think that movie it has kaijus and it has monsters punching giant beasties, but it also is rooted in an emotional space. But it's also about punching giant things, and there's a lot of neon lights. It's got vibes. It's a good movie. I like Pacific Rim. It's a vibe. So yeah, if you haven't watched Pacific Rim, watch that one as well. My sister would be very happy if she did. I did say I was going to end the stream, and I'm just rambling still. So I think I am going to raid out and send you on your way. Appreciating just the little cozy stream. Don't want to push it too far. Otherwise I am just rambling. So I'm gonna set you with Renal. She's playing Expedition 33. I think she's like in Act 2. So yeah. But yeah. There's a wall constructed that was smashed off screen before we even got to see it. Well, this is it. At least with Godzilla, they showed you everything. They really did try. But yeah, thank you to everybody who showed up today. Thank you for having a chat with me. Thank you for rambling with me. Thank you for just sitting with me. Thank you for coming in saying hi. I do love doing these. I am just a bit worn out this week. I'm a bit tired, so I don't think I could ramble about Godzilla any longer without just sounding like a lunatic. But I do appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. If you're on the Discord, I'll keep you updated on there about when the next stream will be. I don't think there'll be any more this week, so if I don't see you, enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week. We will catch up soon. I do enjoy spending this time with you guys. This is my space to just relax, and I love it, and I love hanging out. And if you're just sitting and you're just chatting, I appreciate it, even if we talk about nothing for an hour and a half. Thank you so much. Yeah. We will see what the next one's going to be. I'll put a vote up. I'll see you later. Bye.